Lesson 8-2, Measure of Central Tendency and Range. A measure of central tendency is the number used to describe a set or a center of data. So the first word of a central tendency that we're going to learn is mean. When you hear the word mean, this does not mean angry, this means average. So to find average, you have to add all the numbers in the set, and then you divide by the number of items in the set. So you add, then divide. So you add, and then you divide by the number of items in the set. So let's look at this example. It says Adam earned $14, $10, $12, $15, and $13 by doing chores around the house. What is the mean amount Adam earned doing chores? So they want to know what is the average number that he earned. So you do this by adding 14 plus 10 plus 12 plus 15 plus 13. So if you do that, you will get 64, but that's not how much he earned, that's the total that he earned, and you're going to divide it by the number of items in the set. Well, there is one number, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to divide that number by 5. And if you divide it by 5, you get 12.8, which would be $12.80 is the average that he made. The $12.80 should be kind of in between the data. So it should be more than the lowest number, but less than the highest. So your lowest is 10, your highest is 15. Your answer should be in the middle. So if you get a number that is like 17, your average cannot be higher than your greatest number or lower than your smallest. The next central tendency we're going to look at is median. And median is middle. It's the number that is in the middle of a set of data. So, for example, if we had numbers like 55, 34, 35, 34, 57, 78, and 106. And we wanted to find the number that was in the middle. You first have to write them in order from least to greatest. That's always step one. So we write these out, and we have a 34, we have another 34, we have a 35, we have a 55, we have a 57, we have a 78, and we have a 106. Now, to find the median, you can cross out numbers until you get to the middle. So you cross one from the beginning, one from the end. Cross those out different. One from the end. One from the beginning, one from the end. One from the beginning, one from the end, and it leaves you with 55. Now, sometimes we will have a median and it's between two numbers. So if you're left with two numbers, to find the median between the two, you add those numbers together and divide by 2. So you get the average or the middle number in between. When we hear the word mode, we think of most. So not most like the highest, but most like most occurring. So when we had the example of the set of data where it was 35, 34, 55, 34, 37, 78, and 106. The number that occurs the most here is 34. So that would be your mode. The mode would be the number that occurs most often. Sometimes we have more than one. Sometimes, it might be two numbers that reoccur or repeat. So it's just figuring out which number is repeated the most. So let's look at this example and kind of combine everything together. The points scored in each game by Darby Middle School's football team for 9 games are 21, 35, 14, 28, 14, 7, 21, and 14. Find the mean, median, mode of this data. So to find the mean, which is the average, you have to add all the numbers together. So you add 21 plus 35 plus 14 plus 28 plus 14 plus 7 plus 21 plus 14, and you should get 154. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers in the set. So you would divide that number by 8 to get 19.25 is the mean. Now to find the median, you want to order those numbers from least to greatest. So we have 7, 14, 14, 14, 21, 21, 28, and 35. So now we can start crossing out to get the middle. 1 from the beginning, 1 from the end, 1 from the beginning, 1 from the end, 1 from the beginning, 1 from the end, and now you are left with 2 numbers. So to find the one in the middle, you have to add both of those together and divide by 2, and you're going to get 24.25 for the median. That's the number that's in between these two. And then for the last one, you get the mode, and you want the mode, you want that to be the numbers that are repeated most often, so the numbers that you see over and over again. And in this case, that would be 14, because we have 3 14s and 2 21s, so the 14 would be the mode. The last central tendency that we're going to look at is called the range. And this is the highest number minus the lowest number. And so when we hear range, it's the spread or the distance along the set of data. So for the numbers we had from the example, we had 21, 35, 14, 28, 14, 7, 21, and 14. So if you're looking at this data, you choose your largest number, which is 35, and your lowest number, which is 7, and you subtract them. And so that would mean that your range of data is 28 points, is the range, because it is divided over a range of 28 points from highest to lowest. So instead of doing a lesson review for this lesson, I want you to go to YouTube and I want you to search for the mean, median, mode, lazy song. Type in those exact words and you will see a video that pops up that looks like this one here on your screen. I want you to play that video. It's about 2.5 minutes long, but it is kind of a good catchy tune that can help you kind of remember what each one of these words and central tendencies mean. There will not be a lesson review because you will be getting plenty of practice in word problems through your practice problems.